Hello traders, I am Stephen Davis, Senior Market Strategist, RJO Futures, here to talk to you about the grain markets today. We'll start with corn. This week we had an export announcement to Mexico, 1.577 million metric tons of corn sold to Mexico. This was the single largest export sale in the history of our market. So just good news there. A lot of analysts talk and doubt whether this demand can continue, but what if it does? And this is what I talk about every week. And if the demand does continue, our corn prices are too cheap. So by the way, Mexico is the biggest buyer of hams from our great country, USA. So kudos to the NAFTA, North America Free Trade Agreement, that we passed years ago. You talk about demand for our grain markets, you don't have to look any farther than North America. Okay, the soybean market. Okay, Wednesday we had the biggest rally in crude oil in 8 years. So most times when this happens, soybeans are going to rally. And they were at one point Wednesday 11.5 cents higher. They closed a nickel higher. So you want to see this momentum continue. What's going on in soybeans? We got a record crop out there. Every single passing day, we're getting these big yield reports on U.S. soybean. So I think the October 12th crop report is going to be a bearish report for soybean. But I think we can get in a situation where all of this bearish information is worked into the price of soy and we rally off of a bearish report. So we'll talk more about that. We've seen that happen before. We do have a small stocks report later this morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, but it's not as big as this October 12th report. So we're going to continue to look. We're going to need these export announcements on a daily basis to offset these big yields in soybeans. And we got them again this morning. U.S. export sales of soybean to unknown destination and to China. This is the 7th day in a row. But one thing is China's going to be on holiday now, October 1st. So next week, we're not going to have any daily announcements of U.S. soybean sales to China. So going forward here, it's a demand story is very, very good in soybeans, and the supply is very large. I think the real key is our presidential election here in 60 days, and if we get a big sell-off in stock market, that's going to make crude oil trade lower, and that's going to make all of commodities trade lower. This demand story in corn and soybeans is not going to matter if we get a big sell-off in equities, similar to what we had this summer in the Brexit. And so if stocks go down and stay down, it's going to be hard for commodities to rally. Everybody have an excellent weekend.